The Mansion map, which is DLC 3 for Black Ops 6 Zombies, is rumored to be similar to Liberty Falls and the Tomb in terms of size.
Yep.
We're talking fairly medium size, hopefully with a replayable quest, lots of side Easter eggs. But what that probably means is a returning Wonder Weapon. And what do you know? We know about a returning Wonder Weapon too, actually. The Wonder Waff and the Mark II. So that would answer a lot of questions as far as what we're going to be expecting in DLC 3. I have this tweet pulled up here that I actually saved for this episode. It's coming in from Afterlife on Twitter. He said, there's a lot of ways to interpret this, but Zombies community in 2020 during Cold War, quote, "It would be awesome if Treyarch gave us small survival maps in between major DLC drops. Zombies community in 2025 during BO6, quote, the Tomb is garbage." So there's a lot you can take away from this because it's problematic in the sense that people might think, okay, are the Tomb and Mansion actually DLC maps? Is it DLC 2 and 3? Or are they maps in between the actual DLC maps? I think it's pretty clear.
Well,
they're still DLC 2 and 3. They're not bonus maps in
100%.
between. Right.
And I think it's almost disservice to call maps like the Tomb just survival maps, because
so much more than that.
Yeah, exactly. When you think about a survival map, you think like a Grosston house. You think like a town where there is literally nothing to do except survive. There's no pack-a-punch unlock. There's no side Easter eggs or even a main quest. It's literally just you spawn in and then it's like, okay, this is it, and just survive as long as you can. The Tomb is so much more than that. There's so much side Easter eggs in that map. And honestly, I don't really think Mansion being the same size or similar to it is really a bad thing, in my personal opinion, because these maps are clearly being played more. Like we see the free weekend, like I just stated a few minutes ago. They want you to hop into Liberty Falls. They want you to hop into the Tomb. They've already stated very front and center that Liberty Falls is their most played Zombies map in recent years. It's not Terminus. It's not Citadel. Well, obviously not Citadel because that's that released after launch. But it's not Terminus. It's the map that everyone thought was going to be terrible is actually shaping the way for Zombies maps as we know it, and that's Liberty Falls. And a map that brought back a Wonder Weapon, just like the Tomb did, and then just like Mansion is probably going to do. We've already seen the Wonder Waff in that Mansion. Like, are you kidding me, dude?
Oh, we know it's there.
That's 100% gonna happen. And then we also know about another one, the Ray Gun Mark II. That one's up in the air if that one's also going to appear in that map. But there's also some other opportunities for it to come back as well. But yeah, I think Wonder Waff is almost a guaranteed lock that we're seeing this. We're seeing that as our Wonder Weapon in for Mansion, like 100%. I bet my entire life on it, really.
Oh, we're going to see Wonder Weapon skins for both. Wonder Waff and Mark II guaranteed. They'll be in bundles. There'll be maybe Easter egg rewards.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, DLC 3 being the size of the Tomb, I don't mind that, really. I think, as like an extension to this rumor, apparently the last 2 maps to release with Black Ops 6, and we'll get to that. We'll circle back to DLC 5 in a second, but apparently Janice Towers DLC 4 and a map after that for this game will be bigger, like Terminus and Citadel. And I don't know if I'm tripping here. Is Citadel really the size of Terminus? I know it's bigger than the Tomb, obviously, but
I know there's just, we can talk about this all day, but I think there's a massive map flaw, a critical map flaw in Citadel where it's so narrow. It's just, okay, you spawn and then you're just going the same line all the way up into the castle. Don't know if I really like that, but that's besides the point. Terminus is definitely the biggest map in the game.
Oh, for sure.
It's definitely.
But people keep saying like, Citadel and Terminus, and I get they did intel drops for their bigger maps, Citadel and Terminus. But when I play Citadel, I don't really feel like it's that big. But maybe as far as like a whole separate boss arena, 4 Wonder Weapons, that system represents a bigger map, whereas the Tomb and Liberty have a reused Wonder Weapon, no boss arena really. I mean, the Tomb does have a boss arena. We have to be honest about that, but we could see it like from within the map. Maybe that's why they categorize them that way. I don't know, but I
I mean, does Terminus really have a boss arena? Can't you go there at any time?
exactly, but I guess the scale, so to speak, is
Well, yeah,
still
I agree.
large,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's I could talk about it as far as scale, right? I see what people are saying. I'm not saying that anyone's incorrect about that. I just okay, if we
Yeah.
get DLC 4 and then a 5 that are on the same scale as Terminus, the reason why I'm skeptical about that is because with apparently Treyarch having a game coming out in under a year, I mean, what do you have in that game? The way I see it is like maybe you launch with an Outbreak like Modern Warfare 3 did, and you have like a remastered classic map to go alongside it. Then throughout the year, you see new ROM-based maps because it's hard for me to believe that you're going to see a DLC 4 and 5 that are both big scale that somehow release like right before a whole fresh Call of Duty. That would be like if Duran Fung truly was a fully fleshed out map right after Forsaken. That it almost wouldn't have made sense, and it wasn't. We know it wasn't. But you know, I could definitely see a gap, a gap there, if anything.
I mean, that kind of goes into I guess the first part of the rumor.
Yes.
And the first part of that rumor was that, there are 3 maps left for Black Ops 6 Zombies. One being Mansion, another being, I think, Janus Towers, that was also leaked.
Which is connected to the mansion, funny enough. It's right there.
Which is right by it, yeah, still in Liberty Falls. And then unknown DLC 5, funny name, that we don't know yet for Black Ops 6, but yeah, and then you're talking about this like, oh, what do they do for the supposed next game that's coming out? This rumor states that all of the maps in Black Ops 6 Zombies are going to be carry forward to this next game, which I think would be unreal content wise. That would be absolutely just like you're talking about. You're going to be on like BO3 levels of definitive Zombies experience if you do that.
Like it has a lot of maps. Exactly. Right off the rip
for one price.
It gets that's a question too. When they say carry forward, does the price of the game change if you didn't own Black Ops 6? And if it doesn't, then it's like, wait, people are going to be like, wait, why did I buy Black Ops 6 then? Because I'm going to get all those maps. Like that, dude, think about that. That's actually, I mean, technically all the DLC maps are free in BO6 anyway.
Exactly.
But if you didn't buy Black Ops 6, or no, I'm sorry, if you did buy Black Ops 6, then you're going to end up paying full price for Black Ops 7 that has all the same maps, plus new ones, obviously. But that's going to, I don't know how that's going to sit well. The thing is, Modern Warfare 3 did this with MW2 MP maps. A few of them, like Farm 18 and Mercado Las Almas, and I think a few others, like Shoot House, those got carried forward to MW3 multiplayer. And it was like playing them in a whole new light with the movement changes, mechanics. So if Black Ops 7 has a big change with movement or other mechanics, we'll see these maps in a different light. And if there's like certain camo farming strats you guys like on some of these BO6 maps, then you could do them in BO7, which is cool. The only thing I'm worried about is that if there's carry forward round-based maps, is that a hint already that we're not going to see that many round-based maps added right away? You have to wait a while? Because maybe it really is Outbreak day 1, that's it. And then it's, because, but the rumor from the LA, what was it? That focus group, that rumor from, it was like right before BO6 came out, that focus group leak came out. And there were reports that it's like an 8-player round-based with like a transportation system, new Omni movement with wall running, all this other shit.
Yep.
Maybe that's your launch experience, is basically a big Outbreak, an Outbreak 3.0, and then there's no actual new round base for a while. But then what gets me hopeful is that, right, Treyarch would not have to worry about another project till 2028, maybe. That's if Sledgehammer does COD 2027. So we can get 6 actual crazy seasons for every mode uninterrupted, Warzone included, because then Raven would also be clear of having to do a campaign the year after, right? So we'll see.
Yeah,
Lots to take away from that.
I don't know. I think it's honestly a coin flip whether or not people are going to be upset about that or not, because, Zombies maps specifically carry forward, because, where do you stop when it comes to carry forward? Is it just zombie maps? But then it's like, okay, some of these maps have exclusive perks on them. Do you add all the perks throughout the DLC cycle? Depth Perception, Vulture Raid as of now, on launch for that game's experience? Do you do that? And like, how far do you go? Do you continue the augment system? Do you keep all the ammo mods? Do you keep all the wonder weapons, the classic wonder weapons in the box? That sort of stuff. Like, the ray gun, and then like we talked about the Wonder Waff before. Where did all these things go? And I put out a tweet about this where I really don't want it to kind of be like, honestly, the situation which we're in now, and it kind of felt like that. I guess not really for MWZ, funny enough, but definitely with this game where it's like, okay, we're lacking some perks on launch, and we have to, play catch up for the next 6 seasons, trying to get perks like Mule Kick, trying to get, perks like Death Perception that we had before, that are now being, kind of regurgitated back to us. I don't want that to happen. Don't want that to happen with Black Ops 7, where it's like, okay, we just added back in Vulture 8 in Season 1 last year. You're gonna have to wait till Season 3 this year for it to add it back in. That sucks. That's just, I don't want that. I don't want that when it comes to enemies, wonder weapons, any of the the created class stuff, field upgrades, ammo mods, perks. And I'm sure you feel the same way, because we talked about this when Vanguard was coming out, being like, Vanguard needs to release with everything Cold War has, or else we're going to be playing catch up the whole year. And obviously we know how Vanguard kind of turned out.
I think it was a little bit worse than catch up as far as gameplay mechanics. Exactly. Roadmaps had the ray gun and pack-a-punch camos and pause.
Well, that was for a completely different reason we didn't understand at that point. But going from BO6 to BO7, you're talking about carry forward. You're talking
same
about
engine
stuff. We should have everything in Black Ops 6 in this next game on launch for zombies. Boom. I don't want to wait 2-3 seasons for a perk we got in Season 1 or Season 2. That's lame.
It's almost, I think it's almost a must that we have Outbreak at launch for Black Ops 7 Zombies.
And you get everything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You get a tiny break from round base. If we're getting five DLC maps, BO6, you get the tiniest break from round base with the launch of BO7, Outbreak only, all wonder weapons, swords, fucking everything in the box, or through quests around the map. So you can use your wonder weapon skins you got from bundles or quests. You get all your perks and augments brought in right off the rip, so that when new round base maps come out, likely with I'm gonna guess right now, if there's no round base at launch, I'm talking new round base, by the way, round based. Maybe they'll actually be able to do something where Season 1 through 6 you could have almost a new map every season or something. And then at that point, you're just looking at new Gobblegum. Because first of all, Gobblegum's in Outbreak. Never seen that before. Holy shit.
I forgot to bring that up, too.
That's that's a whole thing.
That's a whole different system that is ingrained inside of the Black Ops 6 ecosystem, and you're just going to forget it if, some of these maps have Gobblegum machines. If we're going to carry those forward, you have to kind of bring those too, unless you're going to alter the experience.
Amalgam's an Outbreak, though. Fuck.
Here's the thing. I kind of had any argument with this on a tweet I put out on Twitter. It wasn't really an argument. I think we both kind of misunderstood each other's points, but where, I said in the tweet, I want all enemy types to return. It's like, oh, well, why would you want amalgams and stuff like vermin to return? First of all, I don't think amalgams would be that bad in an Outbreak-like scenario.
Bigger space for sure. It doesn't matter. I think I agree with that fully. Get all those enemy types out the way with the whole map. Like every time you do like a little, like a raid or what is the HVT side quest? Okay, cool. Get all that. And the thing is, I'm so excited. I know this is gonna sound like such a fucking shill take. I'm really excited for the post-launch of this Black Ops 7 because, like I said earlier, uninterrupted, Treyarch could properly give out this Outbreak 8-player thing so much more time, on top of probably working on round base as well. You could probably do mini little Outbreak maps too, like what we thought we were going to see with Modern Warfare 3, like Rebirth and Fortunes that never got zombie support.